However, yeah, game stories can inspire you for like different things and everything like that. And an anti-war message is something I will always agree with. Fuck war, unless as an absolute last resort, absolute utter last resort. Right? None of this, American foreign policy where it's fucking arm the terrorists and bomb first and then ask questions later and stuff like that, which is why it resulted in the entire fucking world hating America to the point where American hegemony is gone in the next like 10, 15 years. I've said this many, many times. American hegemony in the next 10, 15 years is gone. People can't even afford, like the vast majority of the American population can't even afford their fucking groceries, let alone a fucking house, because BlackRock's buying all of them. Right? Yeah, American hegemony is going to go. But war, yeah, war never changes. But like, it should be as a last resort. I'm very, very anti-war. Fuck war. It's fucking horrible. It's fucking terrible. And it's almost never for noble reasons. It's usually always just to protect the power of the current 1% of whatever nation you happen to be in. That's what all war essentially is.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Saladino. The spectacular, mind-boggling, unprecedented failure of Concord should absolutely 100% be the death of woke. Sony pulled the game 2 weeks after its release. When it launched, I think it only had, just under 700 or just under 800 concurrent players on Steam? That's insane. Don't know how much it or how well it did or didn't do on PlayStation, but obviously it didn't do that well because Sony has pulled it. And what's hilarious to me is just how you have these anti-woke people mad at right-wing grifters and the chuds for thinking or seeing the failure of Concord as a victory. And it's like, yeah, it's a victory for us. We said that this was going to fail. People were saying since this thing, when it was first announced, it first sort of previewed, we were like, what is this? This is clearly kind of a ripoff of Guardians of the Galaxy, which in and of itself would be fine, but these characters look ridiculous. And this is a hero shooter instead of a single player game. It's a CGI presentation, and then you show us more of the characters. You show that they have pronouns, and you look at this DEI ESG checklist of the most horrible, obnoxious, ridiculous characters that are clearly meant for representation. And it says so much about representation that the characters have to be so unattractive, unappealing, ugly. You got the big black woman in Mari. They always do this to the black women. They're a template for all the ESG DEI bullshit. She's going to be black. She's going to be body positive. She's going to look like a man. She's going to be trans friendly. She's going to be a lesbian. She's going to be all this stuff. She's not going to be appealing or pleasing. And then come to find out, another character that I did not like anyway, this Baz character, another black woman character. There's like 3 or 4 black women in this game. None of them are attractive. The sniper is probably the best looking one. And again, so the point of the attractiveness of these characters is this is a visual medium, and this is all about representation. But to them, they use these words, these activists, they use these words like diversity and inclusion and representation. All of this is used to go against straight white men. And they're not coming to the table to add their diversity. They're coming to the table to replace everybody there. I always say this, say with Captain America as an example. SJWs don't want to add an attractive black woman as a new friend, a new partner to Captain America, to Steve Rogers. What they want to do is they want to get rid of Steve Rogers entirely and then cast this woman and make her Captain America. And then when you say, why are you making this woman Captain America and getting rid of Steve Rogers? They call you a bigot for not accepting this new ugly black manly looking woman to be Captain America, because they don't want, again, to join the table. They want to turn it over the tables. They want to turn the tables over. It's our turn now. We're taking over. And you're supposed to just accept it. And you're a chud. You're a right-wing grifter. You're alt-right if you say, I don't like this. I come to video games. I come to this hobby not for representation, but to enjoy the art, the entertainment, the technology, the advances, all this stuff that has nothing to do with identity politics. It sounds like just a buzzword, but it really is what's happening. And the reason why this probably isn't going to be the death of woke is because wokies have nothing else. So, you have this thing where anti-woke culture war. I'm not a part of your culture war. But it's like, you can act like you're above it all, but clearly there is a culture war. If these people looked at the failure of their boycott with Hogwarts Legacy last year, Hogwarts Legacy became the biggest game of 2023, not in spite of the boycott, but because of the boycott. People who didn't even have any interest in Harry Potter not interested in playing the games, bought 1, 2, 3 copies, gave it to people they thought would like it, simply because activists tried to tear the game down, tried to tear J.K. Rowling down for being a woman who said, hey, look, be trans. That's fine. But there's a difference between men and women. Don't debase the language. Don't do this nonsense, debasing the language in order to prop people up who don't need that. Trans people can be just acknowledged as trans. They don't have to be acknowledged as women. And you see that's the whole stupid little nonsense where there's women now pretending to be trans, and then trans are literally sending death threats and hate and abuse to these women, talking about don't use my gender as a costume, when they're literally using women's gender as their costume. Not to get into that, I might do a separate video on that because it's just insane just how we're in this weird, twisted world. And that's what woke has created. So, but anyway, if this wasn't just about a culture war, was what I was trying to say, was getting at. The success of Hogwarts Legacy and the failure of their boycott would have been enough for them to stop doing this, to stop pushing it. The Dylan Mulvaney debacle with Bud Light, those things in 2023, the failure of Pride Month, those things should have been enough for them to say, okay, we got to chill. We got to do something else. But they keep pushing it. They keep going further. They double, triple down. That's what they do because they don't have anything else. This year with 2024, you have the failure of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is opposite to what people want. They said, we don't want this. Give us a Superman game. Give us a Wonder Woman game. No, we're going to give you a Suicide Squad game. You're going to kill the Justice League. And it's going to be this LGBT, DEI, Sweet Baby Inc. bullshit. You're going to nerf Harley, most popular female character in DC Comics. We're going to nerf her. And then when you say, why did you do this? And then you take Poison Ivy, the femme fatale, premier femme fatale in the DC universe. You turn her into a little kid. You turn her into Greta Thunberg. And something is wrong with us for pointing out that this isn't going to fly. We're grifters for caring about this stuff. Us, as grifters and chuds, we're telling you what's going to sell, right? So anyway, an important update on Concord. Ryan Ellis, game director, Firewalk Studios. Concord fans, all 5 of you, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC. They should have been listening to the feedback since before the launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC. Everybody said the pronouns are not going to work. These character designs are hideous. You got the stupid looking Amari character. You got this stupid looking robot with pronouns. And then, you look at something like Baz. So Baz turns out to be a trans character. I didn't even like this Baz character to begin, but she looks so bland and boring. And I just think it's so funny how woke DEI ESG nonsense is so counterproductive to what people actually want and so intent on just defeating the male gaze and sticking it to straight white males or straight players in general, straight male players in general. Yet they couldn't even bother to make Baz a trap. They couldn't even trick you into thinking that it was a hot chick so that when you find out at some point, oh wait, this hot black chick is actually a dude? Oh man, I can't believe it. And it's like, ha ha, bigot. Feel funny now, don't you? But they couldn't even do that. But anyway, so we should have been listening to your feedback since the launch of the whatever. And want to thank everyone who has joined the journey aboard the North Star. It's funny because North Star is what? He was the first out gay superhero in Marvel Comics, maybe in all of superhero comics. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us. Passionate community. Can't even get more than 700, 800 players at a time to play this damn game. And it's fallen since then. There's no such thing as a modern audience, but they keep doing this. And then they try to gaslight you into thinking that, well, no, there's a lot of passionate people who like this, yet we still have to pull the game. However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game in our initial launch didn't land the way we'd intended. Therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline beginning September 6, 2024, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players, probably free to play. The only thing they'll probably do is free to play. They're not going to change the characters. They're not going to change their looks or designs. It's stupid because that's still not going to fly. Free to play, you have these ugly characters. Maybe more people will try it out, but then not stick around because the characters are not appealing. And then if you're offering them different skins, it's just different colors of the same ugly suits. If you do super attractive tread versions of a lot of these characters, you probably would get people to stick around, but they would never do anything like that. They're too stupid and they're too invested in this, as activists. While we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game for PS5 or PC. This is insane. This is crazy. Now, something like this happened with Cyberpunk 2077, but that was just a situation of games launched in a buggy, broken state. We're going to pull this now because we're tired of giving people Refunds on this crap. We'll put it back on the store once they fix their shit. But this, I don't know what's going to happen with this. But anyway, if you purchase the game for PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct, a refund will be issued back to your original payment method. Customers who purchase from other digital storefronts will also be refunded. More information about refunds from Steam and Epic can be found below. So they just go on to talk about, the different policies. The one I find the most interesting is what they go, other retailer refunds. For customers who have purchased a physical copy at a retailer location outside of PlayStation directly, please refer to the refund process of the retailer you purchased it from to obtain your refund. Now, who knows? That might just mean, hey, you're on your own with that one. They may give you your money back. They may not. I don't know how that works. What I've been hearing since they said they're going to pull this is that people have decided to try to buy copies of Concord, thinking it's going to be some kind of collector's item. And it's funny how there's just different markets in the gaming thing. So nobody cared about Concord until now it's going to be shut down. So they figure it's going to be a collector's item. I have no interest in Concord. So I would never buy it as just some kind of curio piece for some reason. It's meaningless to me. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's so stupid. But if people want to do that, fine. I'm just thinking, though, I don't even see the appeal of saying I would own a copy of Concord with this ugly cover with these ugly, stupid characters on it. What am I going to do with it? This is historical in the sense that it's such a huge failure. But are they going to learn anything from this? At least Sony should learn a lesson from this. Warner Brothers should learn a lesson from this. Capcom and a lot of these Asian companies that are talking about instituting, Bandai Namco, who are talking about instituting DEI, they should take a look at this and go, gamers really don't like this. And it doesn't matter if game journals are calling them chuds and grifters and saying it's their fault people are not buying these games. We're the audience. It's our fault because we don't buy it. Yes, it's our fault. We're not buying it. We said we don't want it. Why would we buy it? Why would we prop it up? Why would we help it succeed? We don't want it. We told you not to do it. We're helping you by telling you, we're giving you all this free marketing research. We're telling you what we want. It's so obvious now with this woke stuff. And I don't care how anti-woke a lot of these assholes have become. You have these people trying to fight and shame the anti-woke. But it's not going to shut us up because we actually care about the product. We don't care about the perception. They care about the perception. They care about the representation. I just want to play good games. And there's a ton of old games. Like the biggest service that woke has done is that people can finally go back and play their backlog.
Shimmering, cold and I can be all you ask of me. Music in spring, flowers for a king, all these I bring to you.